Hello, this is Doty Talk. I figured that after the last scripted video, I wanted to do something a little bit different, maybe something to express myself a little bit so that people can see a little bit of the games that I like or my thoughts when it comes to a lot of these games. I want to react to a post from on the Cozy Gamers subreddit from the other day, and this is specifically about a cozy game that you found stressful, and I'm gonna say right away that I'm not really what you'd call a cozy gamer. Well, I play some games within this genre that we call cozy gamers or cozy games or whatever, but I'm not really somebody who self-identifies as somebody who specifically only plays these. And with this, I'm hoping that I shed some insight onto not just what I played, but also my thoughts as opposed to some of other people's. And with that said, I'm gonna jump straight in. The first post they have here, the first one, and this is a very, very common one, is Stardew Valley. Specifically, people seem to have trouble with the energy system and the time settings, I guess. You have like 15 minutes to do everything in a day. And a lot of, from what I've seen of other people, is this need, like this person here, Lucky Plankton. What they say is there's a need to get everything in the game done in every day. And for me personally, this has never really been an issue. If people have seen me play like Fae Farm, at the beginning of each day, I'm like, what am I doing today? What is the one thing I'm doing today? And I set my mind on that. And I think that's a big reason as to why I've never had this problem with Stardew or similar games. It's just not my way of thinking about it, right? And of course there are mods on PC to fix a lot of the problems that people have, but yeah. All the restaurant games, just all of them, I don't think I've played, I mean, outside of like Overcooked and stuff like that, I don't think I've gone out of my way to play anything like Lemon Cake or anything like that. They're just not really my style of games. They're management, they're fun with other people. I wouldn't call them cozy though, at least from the Overcooked style of games. I think they're referring to more stuff like Lemon Cake, in which case I've seen them, I have not played them, not really my cup of tea in general. But when it comes to this, they're management style games, which means the challenge is going to come from trying to do things faster and faster and faster, which is something that I actually like doing. I like automating things, trying to get stuff faster. When I play some other games, all about the automation, but I don't think I've played any here that are specific to cozy game, or that I would call cozy games. And here's Lemon Cake. My time at Portia. So I did play My Time at Portia for a while before it ended up being released, but there's reasons for this. I don't see myself playing these games again, but this person didn't like the POV controls. Can't really speak to that. I think a lot of the quote-unquote cozy games, if you're coming in from like Animal Crossing or something, have this over-the-top camera angle. I think isometric views are really good for just general everything, because you don't really get the motion sickness or anything out of them. So I think they're pretty good for introduction, and making that step over can be a little harder. Spiritfarer. I cannot talk about Spiritfarer. I haven't played it. I've seen somebody play it. I specifically didn't watch parts of it. It's the type of game that I don't think I would be able to play. People would treat it like a cozy game. I don't know how you do, but that's just me, just because the topics surrounding it are not the greatest. And they specifically said platforming. I love platforming. Dave the Diver. Never played, never heard anything about it. Can't really talk about it too much. Person has a fear of deep water, and the game was stressful as a result. Dude, I went diving when I was younger. I think we went to the Caribbean exactly one time, and I went, or was it snorkeling? I think I went snorkeling out. Didn't go diving. And there's something absolutely terrifying about being in the middle of the water with nothing around. I will say that. Stardew Valley, I just cannot. Way too complicated. Okay, it's our second Stardew Valley, and I think we talked about this already, but there's the idea of just putting things in, like, this is what I'm doing today, this is what I'm doing tomorrow, this is what I'm doing now. I don't see the complication because off the top of my head, I can count the amount of game systems in the game. I don't know. I played StarCraft, so played StarCraft and other RTSs for my entire life. You're not gonna get me on this one. Sorry. But again, it's just that same idea. Grew up in gaming. Yes. And then the fishing made me downright homicidal. Am I the only one who thought the fishing was too easy in Stardew? I'm the only one who thought, okay, yes. For anybody out there who's like, this guy is crazy, I was a Stardew Valley speedrunner for a very short amount of time. I got used to all the systems in the game. Of course I would find the fishing to be easy, but even before I did speedrunning, the fishing wasn't hard. Animal Crossing New Horizons, specifically with its terraforming. The terraforming was clunky, but I don't know if that's the right way that I would... Listen, I didn't find stressful. I found it lacking. I found it shallow. Maybe that's a me problem. I played all of the Animal Crossing games, and I have progressively liked each one less and less and less and less. And it's not just nostalgia, because I went back and played GameCube like 2 years ago, and I played it for like a good multiple months straight and loved it. Unfortunately, not really a whole lot of dialogue and content past like a certain amount of time, and if you're willing to do everything to get money, runs out pretty quick in GameCube. But I do like it. Bear and Breakfast, never played it. Know nothing about this game either. It was this and Dave the Diver. Although I will say controls, specifically controls for any like physical controller being bad are really, really bad. Wait, the game hides important items that make it easier. Oh, behind optional quests. Yeah, that's an exploration thing. They want you to do other things besides the main quest. Okay, now we're in the world of crazy. Out of all of the games that I thought I would see on this list, Graveyard Keeper was definitely not one of them. Because Graveyard Keeper to me doesn't fall under a cozy game, it falls under a very satirical game. I don't know how this would fall under unless people just equate farming sims to cozy, but in that case, play Farming Simulator 22 or 20. It'll be the best game because it's a farming sim. I played this one for a short amount of time and then just sort of stopped because, well, the last couple of years I've gotten sick on and off, so just wasn't able to continue playing. I think I remember the game being somewhat confusing on where to go and had like a week system where people would only show up on certain days of the week, but that's about all I remember about it. Cozy Grove. I played this when it first came out, and I remember I hit a point where it was like log in for 20 or 30 minutes, hope you collect resources, hope you find stuff, and if you do, congrats, you can progress. If you don't, then you just wasted 30 minutes of your life. And that feeling made me stop playing. It wasn't even that feeling. The reality of the situation just made me stop playing. That was all. Paleo. Meant to be a cozy MMO, but I found the devs purposefully made it grindy, stressful, and competitive. Not relaxing or cozy. Should we jump through these comments? I agree, wanted to love it, but it feels like a PvP game when it comes to resources, and wow, those people in game are toxic. Guys, stop being toxic. So looking forward to Paleo, but after the whole pet statement, plus realizing gel sold clothes you can only buy with real money, I was done. I'm having fun with it, but it definitely isn't cozy. The game really doesn't seem to respect players' times. And then they go on to talk about they nerfed pickling and stuff like that. They also nerfed jams, and no one was even saying it shouldn't have been nerfed. Just a bunch of no, my pickled potatoes. I specifically didn't talk about the pickle nerfs because I see these as an intermediate thing, which means if they actually make recipes that require pickled anything, which I think there might be, then the benefit should be in combining them into a cooking anything. Unfortunately, or fortunately, there are many people who do not seem to like cooking in the game, and they see pickles as like the side track to that, when I think the developers intended that the side track to cooking was to buy stuff from Reth. A little to the left. Oh my goodness, I played this on stream. frustrated, stressed me out to no end when I discovered there was actually a right way to complete the puzzles. Let's just say that Little to the Left had the least intuitive puzzle completion that I've seen in quite a while. And it was a game that I got through, but it was not always the best. Vanilla Minecraft. Yeah, I think that my problem with vanilla Minecraft is a bit of the same. There's no actual things to do at the beginning of the game. It's just go out and do this, which is great for some people. I hate it. Don't like games that are linked to real time. I'm fine with them. I mean, every game is in some way linked to real time. I'm forced to play it. Animal Crossing because of time of day stuff and not wanting to like switch your Switch around. I remember when I played New Leaf, I worked overnights. And I would basically play it on my lunch break. And in order to play it, I would have to time shift my 3DS by 12 hours. And it was a pain, an absolute pain. Hey, Lemon Cake is back. It's a management thing. I think we're basically out of games here. Let's go through. I've never played Wildflowers, but according to this, it's a big grind. And that was one of the comments that was made about Paleo too. I think there's something to be said about taking a cozy game and making the grind fun. Not just having a grind to have a grind, but making the grind fun in its own regard. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do with these games, right? Sunhaven, so much content and stuff on short days. You guys realize that you can change how long days are in Sunhaven, right? It's an option in the options menu. You can change it as soon as you start the game. I think it goes up to like 30 or 40 minutes. And I want to get to one more on here. Fae Farm. Fae Farm because days go way too fast. My thoughts on days going too fast is I like it. I really like when the days go by quicker. It allows me to see more of the seasons of the game, a lot more of what the game actually looks like in terms of clock. They also hate the fishing. I thought the fishing was done quite well. It was really easy. All you had to do was click some buttons. But people do not like... I think we're at the very opposite end from the community on fishing. I thought Stardew Valley was too easy. I think that Fae Farm is a really simplistic system that could have been harder. Could have been a little bit more complicated. But it runs that little line where people are like, oh, it's got to be complicated, it's got to not be complicated. I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one here. Because I actually really enjoy the fishing. There's some problems. Actually, now that I think about it, the big thing in Fae Farm that I could see people getting hung up on is that the simple fishing it doesn't make the fishing easier. It changes it from a press and hold to a press and toggle for your reels, which is how it's simplifying. In which case, if you want to farm optimally, it actually makes it harder. And I mean, there's like Katamari, Cult of the Lamb. I don't see these games as really being cozy games. What is a cozy game? What is a cozy game? What are some other cozy games? Because as we go lower and lower here, we're seeing like Pokemon. I wouldn't call Pokemon's an RPG. It's all about winning and losing and destroying your enemies. So yeah, were you surprised at the games that you saw? Were you surprised at the opinions people had? Were you surprised about my opinions on anything? Probably not, if you've ever heard me. This has been a longer video, but hopefully something a little bit different. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with regular news updates in the future. Just wanted to make this to connect people. Here are some of the people that make these videos possible. I'd like to thank them, and bye-bye.